Hey people, I'm back after a week and a bit of not doing any videos. My name is Attax and I've got new gloves, stripy green and black. I really like them, I really do. Yeah, I've been away. I went to Reading Festival over the weekend and had quite a cool time, but it's really fucking hot. And yeah, I haven't really watched a lot of wrestling and stuff in the past week, not as much as I normally would, but I've still managed to watch most of Summerslam, Raw, ECW, and I'm about to watch Impact. And I watched a comedy match with Delirious and Colt Cabana, which was really good because they know, they've got it all synchronised to entertain the crowd, and I hope Colt Cabana gets used well in WWE, really do. Right, first I'm going to talk about SummerSlam. Yeah, what can I say? It was alright, I suppose, but it was nowhere near as good as it should be at a level of SummerSlam, if you know what I mean. There have been some shit SummerSlams in the past. I haven't watched many SummerSlams from the noughties, but from the 80s to 2000s, I watched them all, and quite a lot of the cards were really good. I thought I really loved SummerSlam '91. That's for that kind of era. That was cool. It had Bret Hart and Perfect. Can't quite think what else. Oh yeah, $1 Million Man and Virgil and Big Boss Man and the Mountie. But that's they're all good matches for the storyline behind them, and that is something WWE are lacking at the moment, because basically they took full on screen. If you're a wrestling fan that goes on the internet, you would have known about Randy Orton facing Cena months ago. But for people watching it on screen, that feud is only built up over just a little bit over a month or something like that. And I don't think that's too clever a way of selling a feud. It's got to brew this whole kayfabe hatred, whatever, to a decent payoff of a match, and that is something that really didn't happen in the CM Punk John Morrison match. I was disgusted by a foot on the ropes victory for John Morrison, especially after all this build up, and the amount of times we've had to see those two wrestle was not funny anymore, and it's going to happen again at Unforgiven, and hopefully this will put an end to it, but I really doubt it somehow, because there's a few screws loose in the creative department there. But the matches I didn't watch were John Cena and Randy Orton, simply because I already found out Cena won again, but I've also been hearing it as the match of the night, so I don't know whether to go back and watch it. But to be honest, I can't be fucked. And then there's Batista versus Khali. And Khali retains, which was a prediction I made. Glad I didn't watch that. That was probably fucking shit. Another major disappointment about SummerSlam for me was the triple threat intercontinental match. Carlito, Umaga, Ken Kennedy, and they seemed like they were having a good match. And things were flowing, there was a bit of psychology going on and stuff, but it ended at 10 minutes with Kennedy getting the pinfall and the spike, and plus what they failed to mention again was it was a disqualification match, and I know Kennedy hit one of them with a TV monitor, and I think they could have made more use of that and given that match another 10 minutes at least, even if Umaga was going to go away with the victory. But either way, it was still quite a good match, and it was alright. And there's Finlay versus Kane. They put on a good match that veterans would really. And nothing amazing, just a real good solid match, making use of the time they had. And Kane doing an insecurity, and Hornswoggle turning up, and a bit of like whacking with the shillelagh, and also like how like coming back from it for Kane to win, which was cool because you wouldn't really be able to tell who would win out of those two at the moment. Not really. Yeah. What else is on SummerSlam that I watched? Yeah, Stone Cold came out in a beer drinking segment. MVP is just a man on the mic at the moment. I really enjoy him a lot. And there's like a lot of stuff with Vince and his illegitimate child. God, I don't know if like I can even be bothered to like talk anymore about what I saw at SummerSlam, because I can't remember anymore apart from what was booked, what didn't happen, and what happened, and what was disappointments. But overall, the action in the matches I saw was quite solid and okay. Oh yes, of course, Rey Mysterio's return and Chavo Guerrero. Rey was painted in silver, and it's just like a very, 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 very average match. You could tell like some moves were a bit shaky from Rey due to ring rust and stuff. And I heard he's going against Khali at Unforgiven, and that's gonna be fucking surreal. Yeah, awful. But SummerSlam was alright from what I saw, but it wasn't brilliant. It wasn't the level. I don't know. I don't even know if it was like better than Great American Bash, to be honest. It might be a smidgen better. It's not as bad as Judgment Day or Vengeance, and probably better than One Night Stand too. So I don't know. It's just like rushed booking on most of it, really. Yeah. I also watched Monday Night Raw. I found that quite entertaining, just that kind of way. I can't remember the matches. It was Kennedy and Jeff Hardy, and Umaga came down and got Jeff Hardy. So is he a heel or a face? What the fuck's going on? There's Booker and oh yeah, Randy Orton doing the kick of doom on John Cena's dad. That was ridiculous, but it was like ridiculous in a good way. It like really held the suspense, like of thinking you could go for Cena. It's like, oh yeah, his dad's up there. Fucking great. But yeah, they need to get that. All of wrestling's got to get its act together in some way. Like, well, I don't know. I'm just watching it for entertainment value at the moment because I'm doing a lot of other stuff. Shit, I've got to like sort back to reality in a week. So yeah, I think that's it. This video has been fucking shit.